Oh, it was extremely helpful. It was the first time in 2.5 years I actually understood what was going on. I haven't gotten a straight answer from anybody, and this made it so simple that I understood exactly what the steps were and why I hadn't moved forward, because I started in the middle, almost the end, instead of starting at the beginning.
At the beginning. Great. Good.
So now I was starting to hear through other people what to do, but I wasn't confident that that's really, well, she had a bad experience with this person, this one had a bad experience with that person, who do you believe? And then when I came and I sat down at your seminar on Friday, you really validated everything that I had kind of been hearing from everybody, but you brought it right down into one. Like, instead of a ton of, oh, I gotta do this and I gotta do this, you put it in order. You said, here's A, B, C, D, and E. And I benefited from it.
Right. Good.
I also did want to say is, after I spoke and sat down and spoke with you guys, you were so informative and really broke everything down and said, oh, these are just numbers to get you started. And I feel that so many people go into the office of New York Rising heated and angry because they're so stuck on these numbers. But if they really knew what those numbers were about, I think they could go back into New York Rising and be more relaxed and say, oh, thank you and have a good day. And you get a little more that way versus, well, what do you mean New York Rising is only giving me this amount of money? The case manager actually has nothing to do with that. And if you piss her off, she's going to put your paperwork on the bottom. So because I went in there today with information and knowledge, I had a really pleasant experience at New York Rising, and my check was waiting. So I think more people should take it. You know, should really. Because I even told some people, there was a couple, like these people across the street in another family, they don't know what to do. And I know you're having another seminar May 6th, and I've already said, go, you gotta go, you gotta go. So I've already, like, through word of mouth.
Yeah,
said.
yeah.
Well, when I was first trying to figure out what was going on with New York Rising and how I was going to afford to do everything, I was with Catholic Charities. My Catholic Charities caseworker told me to start calling contractors, and that I needed estimates from contractors to find out how far I could go and what I was going to be able to do and if I could rebuild the house. And I started calling contractors who were giving me no numbers because they wanted to know what I was getting from insurance and New York Rising. And I was told by my caseworker, if they ask you how much money you're getting, don't tell them, because then they're just trying to spend whatever money you have.
Right.
And they're not giving you an accurate estimate.
Right.
So I ended up in limbo.
Right.
Because I had no way of knowing
right. And
what
so
needed to be
what's
done.
what's the proper way to go about it?
The proper way to go about it is that I need to contact a design professional first. I need an architect.
That's right.
And they're the ones who are going to walk me through the whole process.
That's right.
And I didn't know that until about 2 weeks ago.
After?
And it has been 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened 2.5 weeks ago?
2.5 weeks ago, I met you.
Before I met you and saw the seminar, I walked into New York Rising with a chip on my shoulder. And I was very angry because I didn't understand and I had no knowledge. And then after you really pointed out and everything and every step I walked in there with an open mind, a better attitude, and I felt like I was moving forward and making progress. And it just made sense. And I wasn't fearful of the numbers. Like, they actually, they could have scrambled on the page and said A, B, C, D. It didn't mean anything to me. I just knew that you're my guy. Like, I'm going to listen to what you have to say, not what my case manager had to say in the numbers. And what was I just going to argue with her over these numbers? She didn't make them. And I had confidence when I walked in.
Right.
I wasn't scared. I saw the initial dollars a few months ago, I was ready to can it, because I'm like, well, for $27,000, how am I gonna find that money? Who's gonna cover that money? I can't pay that money back. And then after going to the seminar, just realizing that that's just a number to get you started. It's just a white flag, not a red one. You know, and it really just,
Right.
it was, I just understood it more after, and like I said, I walked in there without fear, and I said, oh, hi, how are you? And I had a different attitude and a different perspective on the whole program when I
Cool.
walked out.